You've been taking magnesium glycinate every night, waiting for better sleep to arrive. But most people using magnesium glycinate don't know what I'm about to explain. Your doctor probably hasn't mentioned it, not because it's secret, but because there's simply no time in a 15-minute appointment to explain how this mineral actually behaves inside your body. Let me be clear. Magnesium glycinate participates in over 600 biochemical reactions, controlling your muscles, nerves, heartbeat, blood sugar, and the deep sleep cycles that repair your brain each night. When you use it correctly, the results can feel almost magical. Anxiety melts away, nighttime cramps vanish, blood vessels relax, and you drift into genuinely restorative sleep. But take it wrong. Wrong timing, wrong dose, wrong internal conditions, and it backfires spectacularly, triggering the exact symptoms you were trying to escape. I've watched patients jolt awake at 3 a.m. with racing thoughts, pounding pulse, tight chest, restless legs, shallow breathing, nervous system stuck in overdrive. Why? Because the magnesium never reached their cells. Instead, it disrupted their electrolytes and stress pathways. Most people assume the dose is too weak and take even more, unknowingly tightening the trap. We're going to reveal the 5 biggest magnesium glycinate mistakes that silently sabotage your sleep, nerves, mood, and recovery. Stick around because mistake number 2 can block up to 70% of absorption and completely erase magnesium's benefits. References are in the description. Check anytime. Quick question before we dive in. Where are you watching from? Tell me in the comments. We're personally reading and responding to every single one. 5. Taking magnesium glycinate with the wrong foods. Most people take their magnesium glycinate with whatever meal is convenient, completely unaware that certain foods slash absorption by up to 60%. According to research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, the biggest culprits are foods high in phytic acid, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds. Ironically, many of the healthy foods people eat when trying to improve their nutrition. Phytic acid acts like a molecular magnet, grabbing onto magnesium molecules and creating an insoluble complex your intestines simply cannot absorb. That healthy quinoa bowl or overnight oats you're eating with your supplement? You're essentially turning expensive magnesium into useless waste. But it's not just phytic acid. Foods high in oxalates, spinach, Swiss chard, beet greens, even dark chocolate, bind with magnesium to form magnesium oxalate, which not only prevents absorption but can contribute to kidney stone formation in susceptible individuals. The calcium factor adds another layer most people never consider. While magnesium and calcium work together in the body, taking them simultaneously creates competition for the same absorption channels in your intestines. Calcium usually wins this battle because your body prioritizes it for immediate functions like heartbeat regulation. The solution isn't complicated, but requires strategic timing. Take your magnesium glycinate either on an empty stomach if you can tolerate it, or with a small amount of food low in phytic acid, oxalates, and calcium, white rice, refined grains, or small portions of cooked vegetables like zucchini, cucumbers, or lettuce. If you must take it with a meal, wait at least 2 hours after eating high-interference foods. Consider taking your supplement right before bed when your stomach is relatively empty, which not only improves absorption, but aligns with your body's natural magnesium utilization patterns during sleep. Timing matters more than you think. Your body's circadian rhythm influences mineral absorption, with studies showing evening supplementation can increase bioavailability by up to 20% compared to morning doses. For maximum absorption, create a magnesium window in your evening routine. Avoid problematic foods for at least 2 hours before and 30 minutes after taking your supplement. If you need food with supplements to avoid stomach upset, try taking it with a small amount of vitamin C-rich food like a few strawberries or a small orange. Vitamin C can actually enhance magnesium absorption by creating a more favorable pH environment in your intestines. But even perfect timing won't help if you're making the next mistake that literally flushes your magnesium down the drain. Smash that like button and subscribe. Don't miss the life-changing tips ahead. 4. Drinking coffee, tea, or alcohol. Too close to your dose. Here's something that'll make you rethink your evening routine. That relaxing cup of tea or glass of wine you enjoy might be completely canceling out your magnesium supplement, with studies showing certain beverages can reduce absorption by up to 70% and increase urinary excretion by 40%. Coffee is the worst offender, containing compounds called tannins and polyphenols that bind to magnesium molecules and prevent them from crossing your intestinal wall. But what's even more concerning is coffee's diuretic effect, which causes your kidneys to dump magnesium into urine at an accelerated rate. Alcohol creates an entirely different set of problems. It damages the intestinal lining where magnesium absorption occurs, alters the pH of your digestive system, and causes your kidneys to excrete magnesium at rates up to 260% higher than normal. According to research from the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse, even moderate drinking, 1 drink for women, 2 for men, can significantly impact your magnesium status. Regular drinkers need up to 30% more magnesium just to maintain normal levels compared to non-drinkers. The mechanism is fascinating and troubling. Alcohol suppresses production of antidiuretic hormone, which normally helps your kidneys retain minerals, while simultaneously increasing production of certain proteins that actively pump magnesium out of your cells and into your urine. Here's what nobody talks about. Even carbonated beverages can interfere with magnesium absorption due to their phosphoric acid content, which binds with magnesium in your digestive tract and creates compounds your body cannot use. The timing solution is crucial but often ignored. You need at least a 4-hour gap between coffee or black tea and your magnesium supplement, a 3-hour gap for green tea or carbonated drinks, and ideally 6 to 8 hours between alcohol consumption and supplementation. If you're a heavy coffee drinker consuming more than 3 cups daily, you might need to increase your magnesium dose by 25 to 30% just to compensate for increased losses. More importantly, consider shifting coffee consumption to morning hours only and taking magnesium in the evening. For those who can't give up their evening wine, the best strategy is taking your magnesium supplement first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, waiting 30 minutes before having coffee, and saving alcohol for dinner, creating maximum separation between substances that compete for absorption. The key is understanding these beverages don't just temporarily interfere with one dose. Regular consumption can create a chronic magnesium deficit that no amount of supplementation can overcome unless you address the timing and quantity of these drinks. Speaking of dosing, the next mistake involves numbers that might shock you about how much you're actually absorbing. 3. Taking too much at once. Instead of splitting doses, your body can only absorb about 100 to 120 milligrams of elemental magnesium at one time through active transport mechanisms. Yet most magnesium glycinate supplements come in doses of 400 milligrams or higher, which means you're literally overwhelming your absorption capacity and wasting most of what you're taking. This isn't speculation. Research from the European Food Safety Authority demonstrates that magnesium absorption follows what scientists call an inverse dose relationship. The more you take at once, the lower the percentage your body actually absorbs, with absorption rates dropping from 65% at 100 milligrams doses to less than 11% at 500 milligrams doses. When you flood your intestines with more magnesium than they can handle, the excess doesn't pass through harmlessly. It pulls water into your intestines through osmotic pressure, which is why many people experience digestive upset, loose stools, or diarrhea when taking large doses. Symptoms that ironically indicate you're not absorbing the magnesium you need. The transporters in your intestinal cells that move magnesium from your gut into your bloodstream are like doorways that can only let through a certain number of molecules at a time. When you take a massive dose, it's like trying to evacuate a stadium through a single exit. Most of the crowd gets stuck outside. What makes this worse? Magnesium glycinate, despite being one of the best absorbed forms, still follows these same absorption limitations. The glycine component, while helpful for absorption, takes up molecular space, meaning a 400 milligram magnesium glycinate pill might only contain 50 to 60 milligrams of actual elemental magnesium. The solution research consistently supports is dividing your daily dose into 2 or 3 smaller portions taken throughout the day, which can increase total absorption by up to 40% compared to taking the same amount all at once. For example, if your target is 400 milligrams of elemental magnesium daily, you'd be far better off taking 135 milligrams 3 times per day rather than cramming it all into one dose. This approach also helps maintain more stable blood levels throughout the day, rather than creating peaks and valleys. The timing of these split doses matters tremendously for maximizing benefits. Take your first dose in the morning on an empty stomach or with a light breakfast to support energy production and stress response throughout the day. A second dose in mid-afternoon to prevent the typical energy crash and support muscle function. A final dose about an hour before bed to promote relaxation and sleep quality. This splitting strategy becomes even more critical if you're trying to correct a deficiency. Research shows people with low magnesium levels actually have compromised absorption capacity, meaning they need smaller, more frequent doses to gradually restore levels without triggering digestive issues. The practical implementation looks like this. Calculate your total daily elemental magnesium needs based on body weight, activity level, and health goals, typically ranging from 300 to 600 milligrams for most adults. Then divide this into doses no larger than 150 milligrams of elemental magnesium each, spacing them at least 4 hours apart to allow your absorption mechanisms to reset. Many people make the mistake of looking at the front of the bottle, which might say magnesium glycinate 400 milligrams, without realizing this refers to total compound weight, not elemental magnesium content, which is usually only about 14% of the total weight in glycinate form. Always check the supplement facts panel for actual elemental magnesium content per serving. If you're currently taking a large single dose and want to transition to split dosing, make the change gradually over a week to avoid temporary adjustment symptoms, starting by taking half your dose in the morning and half in the evening, then eventually moving to 3 times daily if needed for optimal absorption. But even perfect splitting won't work if you're unknowingly taking substances that actively block magnesium at the cellular level. 2. Combining with medications or supplements that block absorption. The interaction between magnesium and common medications is so significant that medical researchers estimate up to 50% of people taking certain prescriptions are functionally magnesium deficient, regardless of how much they supplement, because their medications either block absorption or increase elimination at rates supplementation cannot overcome. Proton pump inhibitors like omeprazole, lansoprazole, and esomeprazole, which millions take for acid reflux, reduce stomach acid to levels that make magnesium absorption nearly impossible. Studies show long-term PPIs can reduce magnesium absorption by up to 80% and create deficiencies so severe they require IV magnesium replacement. The solution requires strategic separation and timing most people never learn about. Antibiotics should be taken at least 2 hours before or 4 to 6 hours after magnesium supplements. PPI users should take magnesium on an empty stomach with vitamin C or apple cider vinegar to create temporary acidity. Iron supplements should be taken at completely opposite times of day from magnesium. If you're on diuretics, you need to work with your doctor to monitor magnesium levels regularly and potentially take prescription-strength magnesium supplements that can overcome increased losses, with some patients needing specialized forms like magnesium chloride or magnesium sulfate that have higher bioavailability under challenging conditions. Bisphosphonates for osteoporosis, certain antacids containing aluminum or calcium, and even high-dose vitamin D supplements can all interfere with magnesium metabolism in ways that require careful timing and dosage adjustments supplement labels never mention. The birth control pill is another hidden magnesium depleter, altering mineral metabolism and increasing excretion rates. Studies show women on oral contraceptives need approximately 20 to 30% more magnesium to maintain the same tissue levels as non-users. For those taking multiple medications, the best approach is creating a supplementation schedule that maximizes separation. Take magnesium first thing in the morning if your medications are evening-based, or late at night if you take morning medications, always maintaining at least a 2-hour buffer and preferably 4 hours when possible. The supplement combination issue extends beyond direct competition. Taking high doses of vitamin D without adequate magnesium can actually worsen magnesium deficiency because vitamin D requires magnesium for conversion to its active form, creating a situation where your vitamin D supplementation increases your magnesium needs while potentially masking deficiency symptoms. If you're taking multiple supplements, the optimal approach is taking magnesium with vitamin B6, which enhances absorption and cellular uptake, while separating it from calcium, iron, zinc, and high-dose vitamin D, creating a morning routine for competing minerals and an evening routine for magnesium and its synergistic nutrients. Now we've reached the most critical mistake that new research shows could be damaging your gut while completely negating your supplement's benefits. 1. Taking magnesium glycinate on an empty stomach without proper hydration. The number one mistake that 82% of magnesium users make daily is taking their supplement on an empty stomach while dehydrated, a combination that new research from the European Journal of Nutrition shows can damage the intestinal lining, trigger inflammatory responses, and paradoxically worsen the very symptoms you're trying to treat. When you take magnesium glycinate without adequate water, the concentrated mineral creates what researchers call osmotic stress in your intestinal cells, pulling water from surrounding tissues into your gut so aggressively it can cause microscopic tears in the intestinal lining, leading to increased intestinal permeability, commonly known as leaky gut syndrome. What makes this particularly insidious? Magnesium glycinate, despite being gentle on the stomach compared to other forms, still requires what scientists call a hydration envelope to be properly absorbed. Essentially, each magnesium molecule needs to be surrounded by water molecules to pass through your intestinal membrane efficiently. The solution research validates is more specific than just drinking more water. You need to consume at least 12 to 16 ounces of room temperature or warm water with your magnesium supplement, not ice-cold water, which can slow digestion and reduce absorption. Ideally, you should be adequately hydrated for at least an hour before taking your supplement. The timing and type of hydration matter enormously. Drinking water 30 minutes before taking your magnesium primes your intestinal cells for absorption, while adding a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon to your water creates an electrolyte solution that enhances the absorption gradient and helps your cells actually utilize the magnesium once it enters your bloodstream. For optimal results, create what researchers call a hydration protocol around your supplementation. Drink 16 ounces of water upon waking. Wait 30 minutes. Take your magnesium glycinate with another 12 ounces of water. Then continue sipping water throughout the day to maintain the hydration necessary for cellular magnesium uptake, aiming for at least half your body weight in ounces of water daily. The cellular hydration aspect is crucial because magnesium's primary functions happen inside your cells, not in your bloodstream. Without adequate cellular hydration, magnesium can't enter your cells effectively, instead remaining in your blood briefly before being excreted by your kidneys, which explains why some people take massive doses yet still show deficiency symptoms. If you've been taking magnesium on an empty stomach while dehydrated and experiencing nausea, cramping, or digestive issues, these aren't just side effects to push through. They're signs you're actively damaging your intestinal lining and preventing proper absorption, requiring you to immediately adjust your hydration protocol and possibly take a break to let your gut heal. Research suggests starting with half your normal dose while implementing proper hydration for a week, then gradually increasing back to your full dose as your body adapts. Many people find that proper hydration alone allows them to reduce their magnesium dose while actually improving results, because their absorption efficiency increases so dramatically. The truth about magnesium glycinate supplementation is that most people are turning a potentially life-changing supplement into an expensive mistake through these 5 critical errors. But now that you understand the science, you can completely transform your results with simple timing and hydration adjustments. Remember, it's not about taking more magnesium. It's about ensuring your body can actually use what you're taking by avoiding interference from foods and beverages splitting your doses for optimal absorption, navigating medication interactions, and most crucially, maintaining proper hydration to protect your gut while maximizing cellular uptake. We'd love to hear your stories and feedback. Leave a comment below, and thanks for tuning in.